What's going on, guys? Snaggy here, and it's time to preview Ashes Game 2 and the Pacific Championship, guys. We're going to get through this one pretty quickly. We're going to talk about the previous game with England versus Australia, our predictions to that one, our bets in that one, and same thing with the Pacific nations, the Kiwis versus Tonga. All right, boys, before we get into this, I just need to tell get this little point across for a second, all right? So I saw a few people saying, oh, Ashes wasn't that good. Oh, Pacific Champ. Boys, we need to lower our standards. We just got absolutely spoiled in that final series. I mean, look, Brisbane Broncos 3 come back from behind wins to win a comp. Crazy individual. Like, it was just the most crazy final series we've ever seen. So we got to lower our standards just a little bit. I actually rewatched the games and they weren't that bad. I will admit I was with you. I was like, oh, that games weren't that good. And I rewatched it and I was like, oh, they're actually all right. It was just, look, sometimes a team just comes out and wins. We actually got blessed all year. There were so many underdog wins. There was so many come from behind wins in the NRL all year, And I know in even the Samoa game, I was sitting there going, oh, I think they can come back. And then it just never happened. And I felt let down, even though most of the time teams don't come back from 14-0 down 3 times in a row. But yeah, so that was just my little thoughts on that one, guys. I actually didn't mind them. I watched the highlights. I was like, the highlights are actually pretty good. It was just, I think we've been used to such crazy footy lately. It sort of spoiled it for us. Now let's get into these, boys. If you're not already, make sure you're subbed. Make sure you jump on our Discord. Make sure you're following us on Dabble, guys. I'll leave the links to all those in the descriptions. Now, England versus Australia. Now, let's go back to the previous game quickly and let's talk about this for a second. Now, I don't think England were that bad. To me, when a team's bad, they weren't good. But I'm just saying, to me, when a team's bad, they don't even create an opportunity. Like, you know what I mean? They created their opportunities. It was just, they weren't iced, stuff like that. But I said this in my post-game on TikTok and my YouTube shorts and stuff. I think for the internationals in general, because we saw it a bit with Samoa last week, we saw it with England, and even Australia weren't that good. I think we need to play, like, Australia should play, I don't know, man, some French team, just pump them. England should play, I don't know, whatever, some team over there, pump them. Get everything right, get an actual game under your belt before you get into these. Same as Pacific nations, maybe play, a PNG or whatever like that. Just get some reps under your belt in an actual game situation, because other than the Kiwis were pretty damn good straight away, but every other team in their first game's been pretty, just stuff wasn't sticking, So I think they should do that for next year. But so let's not forget England. No, sorry, Reece Walsh saved 2 tries, and then there was also a kick that went long that was half like a roll, or 30 centimetres too long. Otherwise, it would have been a try. It would have been a try in Australia because we've got longer dead ball lines. So they could have actually gone into the half up, So again, I'm not making excuses for them. Maybe I am being a bit I'm being very glass half full. But you get what I'm saying. I don't think they were horrible. But the scary thing is Australia can be a lot better too, So just on this English coach for a second, man. I really like him because I love tough. They don't have his picture there. I love my tough Poms. But there's just a couple things that sort of got brought up during the week, and he's been saying something a lot in the press conference I really don't like. So first thing was not picking Brimson, Smithies and stuff like that. Bit of a rumour that he wanted to prove that, the Super League's at standard to the NRL or something along those lines. If he did do that, he's an idiot. We respect if there's any Poms watching us, we respect the hell out of the Super League. You beat Penrith twice, 2 years in a row. Like, we know you can play footy. Smithies had to be in that team. AJ Brimson had to be in that team. So hopefully that wasn't the case. And the other thing he's doing, which I hate, man, he keeps calling Australia the best team. He keeps giving Australia way too much props. And I thought a lot of the players played like they were. I see it a lot at schoolboy level, and because schoolboy, it's all sort of rumours and stuff. And I'll tell you, my son's team, right, for the last couple of years, whenever they're playing like a tough team or a big school or whatever, they'll be like, oh, this guy, he's so good. Then you'd watch them play and I'm like, they're playing scared. Like they're not being cats, but you can tell they respect them too much when they're going to play them. And I've had to drill that out of him, and he finally did. I mean, he's trying out for a rep team next year, and someone said, so-and-so's trying out for that spot, and he said, I'm going to take it off him. I was like, oh, finally. He's talking trash, but he's talking confidently that he can actually, I don't care if he's wrong. I got this, So I wish he just wouldn't do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if Payne Haas is running out there, you just, right, I got you, So, can the Poms win this? Yeah. How do they do it? Pick a better team for 1, 2. I think they got to get into the old dark arts a little bit more. All right. So, like I said, I felt like they respected the Aussie team too much. I don't know who their hard man is, but do you know what I'm doing if I am England? I'm trying to put shots on early first, but I am picking Tino up, dumping him. I'm rubbing my forearm all over his throat and chin and face until he gets up, and I'd bait him into punching me or just have a scuffle, whatever. But just make the Aussies actually play with emotion, because they're so clinical. You're not going to beat them clinically. Got to get into these dark arts, boys. Just, like, Tino's got a nice smile, They take that away from him. Just maybe don't throw that first punch, because you'll get sin-binned and probably get pumped by 60. But if you can bait him into punching you first and you throw him back, you get what I mean? Just get under the skin of him a little bit. Herbie was the only one, because he plays against them week in, week out, and is probably the best centre, second or third at absolute worst. He didn't seem to care. He wasn't intimidated by the Aussies, but it looked like a lot of other guys were. That one thing I will say, the physicality, and a point I did agree with the English coach, was it didn't actually look like a test match. Like it was above average standard, probably a standard rugby league game, It wasn't too crazy. So I'd love to see the physicality, the line speed a bit more. Just rough up Tino, rough up Paddy, whoever, just get into them and see how you go from there. But that's what I'd like to see. So now we do have an Aussie ref for this one. We don't have the team list up yet, but we do have Isaiah out. So Paddy goes in at lock, Lindsay Collins starts, and Lindsay Smith comes into okay. I thought Ruben Cotter did a really good job last week at lock. I really, really enjoyed his work there. I thought it was the best game we played in about 2 years. The Aussie ref. Now, I actually think that will help England. Wait, I'm finished. Just get here. So, the slow play the balls. I mean, Jesus. Jeez, the Poms wasn't even that slow in the end, so what I'm about to say sounds stupid. But just hear me out. With the slow play the balls, it's almost going to be impossible to crack the Aussie line. Like, they're just so clinical. It's going to be very hard to crack them. So with a bit of a quicker play the ball, you probably can get on the front foot and play a little bit more. But unfortunately, Australia gets the same luxury, and then they got Harry Grant running out of dummy half as well. So I definitely think it will help the Poms, but yeah, it helps the Aussies probably at absolute worst the same, So I've got Aussies to win this one. I'd love the Poms to get this though. Just being real, I'd love this to go to a game 3. I just think it would be absolutely awesome. So fingers crossed the Poms can get this one, and then us Aussies pump yous in the final one. We get your hopes up and pump yous. That's the goal. Now for this one, guys, I've just got to punt down on Dabble. Again, it's hard, but I've just put this down. Hopefully it hits. Got Reece Walsh, try scorer, Nwangani Tawase, try scorer, Australia over 19, and we have over 27 points, match totals. That one's paying out $3.07. I know it's not great, but it's also not that bad either. They did kick to Nwangani Tawase a lot, but they did a very good job of building a wall. I don't know how that Aussie ref, I don't think he'll let that wall fly. We'll have to wait and see, guys. But, yeah, Aussies to win, Nwangani Tawase, Reece Walsh. That was the other thing too. Reece Walsh went God mode as well. Maybe he might not do that this game, So, but geez, he's been doing it a lot lately. onto the Kiwis. Damn, it's pissing down. Kiwis versus Tonga. Stefano's such a flop, eh? Robert Toya out, Jeremy Marshall-King out, Ronaldo Mulatalo out, Sebastian Chris in. Who comes in for... Alright, so we have Big Kafusi starting AFB. We have Jason Tamalolo. Just start Lecker, bro. Stop it. Just stop this nonsense. Wolfie. Look, man, I was so impressed with the Kiwis. Like the week before. I really was. It's hard to get a gauge on Tonga. It's literally the biggest stop-start game of all time. We had a bloody hour. Who knows, man? Maybe they might have been able to grind it down and get a bit close without that break. We'll never know, but yeah, it's very hard to talk positive because Small did such a good job, man. And I tipped Samoa in that one, and the reason why I tipped them was they'd played a game. It's such an advantage. I just spoke about at the start of this thing, like having you can't train a game. Like, I mean, you can train a game, but nothing replaces it, you know. Like, nothing replaces, like people say, match fitness. You can do all the Broncos in the world. You can do all the 10K runs in the world. You can do all the hill sprints, all the conditioning drills. And you run out there 8 minutes and you're blowing. And you're like, what the hell? What is going on? I do very much expect Tonga to be better. Just super, super clunky. Isaiah Yongi, first of all, they need to get either Lecker or hopefully Lecker's starting. Katoa more, at least Katoa more ball. Stop going out the back. Hit them flat a bit more. Need to get this dude more ball, Kohler. Just freak, man. Really is a freak. So Toya's out. Alamotti comes in. Not a bad replacement. Lehigh Hopewadi definitely needs to be better. Yeah, like I think we're going to see a much better team. Only issue is, like, man, like I said, I was so impressed with the Kiwis, man. Now, it is a weaker team. Naldo Mulatalo and Jeremy Marshall-King, that's losses, man. That's pretty solid losses. Jeremy Marshall-King's very, very good number 9. Phoenix Crossland's handy, but he's barely even a 9. Like, he's just half a 9, half a 7, half an impact player, you know. So, definitely a bit of a downgrade. It is definitely a weaker team. Big Xavier Willison comes in as well over Nelson. Okay. That's tough. I don't mind it. But yeah, look, I have to go the Kiwis in this one because I was so impressed because I thought Samoa's forward pack played some of the best footy I've seen a forward pack play. Kiwis matched it. Tarpany is just such a freak. Like, you got you got the best starting front row combination of all time. And then you got Tarpany, who's just epitomises the new age, just best of the best front row playing the lock position, which is essentially the same thing these days if you're not playing the ball playing position. It's so scary. And then you have White, Aaron Clark, Xavier. It's so much, man. I definitely think Tonga can match them. I want Tonga to win this. I really hope they would, and I hope they win well. I love you, my Kiwi bros, my Anzac brothers, but I just want to see Samoa versus Tonga again, a good shot. You know, at Bankwes, like the Sipatau was just so dope. So I don't know. The Kiwis would be awesome too, but now actually I've just got to check this. Someone told me this is getting close to selling out. Let's have a quick look. Then I'll get to my bet. Because this is Eden Park, right? So there's 50,000 tickets at this thing. It's looking pretty sold out. Yeah, jeez. You need a wheelchair to get in, boys. That's not many seats. This is 50,000. Why did no one go to the last game? Wow. It's actually, mate, wow. What do we got behind the goalposts here? Okay, there's still a few tickets. Oh, yeah, there's good 10,000 tickets here. Whoa. There's still a solid amount of tickets, but that'd be, how many's up here? Oh yeah, so there'd be high 30s, sold maybe. That's pretty solid. Not too bad. Not too bad at all for a Kiwi test. Come on, Tonga, sell it out. I want to see every Tongan on earth there. How good would that be? Yeah, so look, I'll go Kiwis to win. I think it'll be close-ish, but I've gone Kiwis -3.5. I've got Casey McLean to score. He's not missing at the moment. And Kiwis over 16.5 points. $2.45 I got for that. Again, not crazy odds. You're not going to retire you, but not too bad at all. And that's it, boys. We're done. How quick and good was that? 15 minutes. How good. Nice quick. I'm used to those bloody long-ass, hour-long, breaking down the Titans versus the Tigers, even though I don't care about it. No, I do care about it. I love every game of rugby league played. All right, boys, that's it. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.